Hey, Hoagie's Garage tonight. And for right now, I'm by myself. Tobe Agason is coming. He's on his way on his motorcycle. And if I had to guess, you'll probably only see me at the end, maybe in the middle too. We'll just see how this night goes and we go from there. We're both kind of busy and yeah, we'll just make it happen. But I guess just want to start out saying thanks to all the people that have been listening. We don't say that very often, and for two guys, me and my sidekick in this little town of Leicester, to have this podcast is just an absolute blast for us. So we really appreciate everybody that has listened to our podcast. We especially want to thank Huset's. We're kind of getting close to the end. And, Huset's is a big time sponsor for us. We always get to interview the winners after the race, and that's no exception tonight. We got Ron Howe on, we have Justin Henderson, and we have Lee Goes. And it's something that we really look forward to. It's great working with Sean Neistat a little bit, and Sean has a Facebook Live thing that he does now on Sundays before the races. That's really cool. Him and Austin Lloyd, I should say. Austin's kind of wrapping up his last year, the way it sounds, and Austin's one of the best there is, and just really appreciate him working with us some too. And then we have Doug Johnson, Todd Queering, just absolutely been great for us, and we can't thank all of them enough for everything they do for our podcast, and we just really appreciate them. Sunday, I'm not gonna lie, was a thrill for us because we got to see Lee Goes right there as I'm talking. That was the pass that won him the championship right there. So that's actually really good timing. But yeah, with 3 laps to go, he made a pass and took home the championship at Huset's. And great for Lee. It was exciting for us as Hoagie's Garage, as sponsors for him to be a part of that. We're such a small part of that, but we've gotten to know Lee and Jamie and Dylan so well, and it's just an absolute blast for us to be a part of that. So, yeah, when we come back, we will have the winners from Sunday night at Huset Speedway. All right, we're back at Hoagie's Garage, and we have Ron Howe on. How you doing tonight?
Great. How are you guys?
We're doing great. You better be great. You got to win Sunday night.
Yeah. I'm still picturing myself to make sure that really happened. Yeah, I watched the replay a couple times. I still can't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, we witnessed it, so you got witnesses, you got proof, so.
Yeah, thank God for that.
We always tease each other when somebody tells a story, they see something neat. We always ask if they got video evidence of it to take pictures, otherwise we can't necessarily believe it if you're the only one telling the story, so.
Yeah. Understand how that goes.
So, you've been racing a long time at Huset's. Now, just to clarify, because they said it's your first win since you've raced at Huset's, and you started, I thought they said, in 1976.
Yes, I did. I started back when they were basically super modifieds back then, what they called them then. They were kind of on the cutting edge of the, early stages of the sprint cars coming into play. But I raced out there in 76 for about, I raced that whole season, and I started maybe a little bit in 77, and things changed in life, and got married, and couldn't really afford that anymore, so I started helping Daryl Dolly, and worked with him until he passed in 79, and laid off for a number of years, and then we started racing not myself, but owning cars and stuff. Started helping Cliff Quaidall back in the day, and next thing you know, I can't even remember when that exactly was, but next thing you know, I owned a car and a motor and a trailer, and that's when he was driving that number 10 Long John Silver's car. So I'd had several, he was a really good driver. He got us several championships, and he got hurt out there at Huset's one night, and so we had Frankie Runs drive for us for a few more races that season, and then Todd Wessel started driving our car, and then decided it was time to quit, laid off for a while, and then my son started racing quads at Saddleback and kind of all over the country. We went to Ohio and West Virginia, and that's kind of where I started to meet Greg Baker, because he was into quads big time and one of the best, and kind of got through that area with doing the quad things, and then of course Greg started getting into the sprint cars, and got a couple 360 motors for him, and then just did that thing, just kind of helped, was on the sidelines watching him win some races, and we had a couple midgets for the Chili Bowl. Dylan Peterson drove them, and Alex Streamer drove one, and I think then about 2019, I think buddy Troy Nordorf and JJ said I should drive Troy's son's late model street stock one time. Well, that was a mistake there. I driving one time over in Worthington, and next season I owned that car and drove it, and had a lot of fun, and then decided to build a new one, and let Mike Shaney drive my old car. Well, that lasted for a while until he crashed out his Huset, and made the headlines for quite a while out there on that one. But right shortly after that, that's when we got into NF1 cars. We built one for Mike, and he had about 4 or 5 races left that season, I think we did, and he actually won one with that car that year. So that's when JJ and I decided that we needed new cars, and so yeah. So that's, there's quite a span in between 76 and when I actually started racing back out there again, but believe me, I've been out there a long time.
You bet.
Involved in just about everything, the way it sounds.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to say no, that's the problem.
Yeah, and Ron, when you're talking, just a little bit louder if you could, but you're doing really good. So,
Okay.
what is your knack with the cars? Are you really good with the motors, with the bodies? What are you really good with?
Or all of it.
Or none of them?
I call bull on that.
A little bit of everything, but not good at anything. How's that sound?
Oh.
With JJ and Mike, they've been around that type of car for a number of years. They actually know more about those cars than I do. I just, I'm more of the director when we get together. The boys are in the shop right now working on the cars for this weekend, and I got to keep them directed and slow them up every once in a while. Get a little too excited.
Pull the reins back just a little bit on them.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So going back to Sunday night at Huset's, what? Tell us about the feature race. What's going through your mind as the laps are winding down?
Well, you know, I don't know if everybody does this or not, but you got to just kind of keep telling yourself, hit your marks, make sure you're on your marks, and this and that, and then, you know, winding down that race. Probably about the last thing I wanted to see was that yellow come out with 2 laps to go, because been there before and lost it because you get overzealous to try to drive your car harder and don't hit your marks, and yeah, you screw it up that way. But yeah, I was lucky enough to keep cool, and believe me, I was talking to myself a lot. And not always the good stuff either. But yeah, it was still hard to believe.
Yeah. So we're doing a little YouTube thing with it right now, and we're actually have Dirt Vision on and the replay from Sunday, and you're jumping out of the car pretty much right now as we speak. We kind of showed a little bit of the race as we were talking to you, and
so there's that video proof we were talking about.
Well, don't me getting in and out of the car is people have taken videos of that in itself is probably pretty comical. When you try to get in and out. But,
well, we're not as young as them boys that are out there jumping in and out of them things nowadays.
No, I'm 65 years old and trying to work on getting my knees replaced. So I got some issues going on.
yeah.
Don't we all anymore?
But how awesome is that? 65 and you get a win at Huset's. I mean, it seriously can't get better than that, Ron.
Absolutely not. I never, you know, I won a couple times a couple years ago, and then struggled with my car, and getting on this with this NF1 car, even right out of the chute this year. I was out at Hartford. I was leading, coming in out of the 4th turn, and of all things, my foot slips off the accelerator, and I get beat by inches. So, yeah, it's I've never felt like I'm too old to do it. I feel like I've got the desire to win, and I'm hoping that I can get a couple more. Maybe not at Huset's, but I think I can get some more.
Absolutely.
That's a new one though, to lose. I haven't heard that story ever where you lose it by his foot slipping off, or foot slipping off.
I shouldn't really be telling that right now, but that's it.
Well, that's what we want to learn. I mean, it's not a good story for you, but it's a really neat one to learn. I mean, so.
Yeah, well, coming to the green flag, I made sure my foot was on the accelerator.
Well, I see somebody in Sioux Falls drove through a Casey's or something last week too, so they had their foot on the wrong pedal evidently. So. Yeah, at least you didn't do that. At least you didn't hit the brake coming out of 4.
Yeah.
So how about the number on your car, Ron? Does that mean anything particular for you, or is that just a random number?
Well, it was actually my football number in high school, and then my son took it over on his quad, and so I've just kept with it. So
Okay.
Love it. It goes all the way back to football.
Yep.
Well, I kept the bench pretty warm back then.
Lucky 13. That was my softball number back in the day. So.
So
Yeah.
you got, tell us about who your sponsors are. Let's get them on the air for you.
Okay, well, we've got Howe Inc., obviously, and Bargain Barn Tire, Best Western Plus, Lakeville, up here in Madison, South Dakota, Lakeside Dock, and of course the NF1 car. So,
You bet. And what's the plans with those cars the rest of this year? You got some at Hartford yet? Is there just one left at Huset's? Is that right?
one at Huset's and 2 out at Hartford. This weekend out at Hartford, we put the wings on the top. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to run the wing, and it is a points race.
Yes.
That'll test the motors out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Will you go anywhere else after those 3?
They're talking about some other races, possibly to be a non-points race type thing, but I don't know if anything's really developed with that or not. So, still up in the air, I guess, as far as after those 3 races.
see how the next 3 go, and then we'll go from there.
Exactly.
If you win the next 3 or 2,
Mike's tonight, so
yeah. If you win the next 2 out of them 3 or something, then you'll probably want to go somewhere else again.
Yeah, well, I'd like to, but I think my wife's got other plans for me. She gives me 3 months in the summer to play, and then I've got to pay attention to her.
Then the 3 months are about up. So.
Yep.
And we really didn't ask about, family or anything at the beginning. We kind of got into the races. So you got a wife? Do you have kids or grandkids also?
I've got 7 grandkids and 2 kids and 2 step sons. But in early February or late February, my son had passed away. So that's not a good deal.
No.
Wish that on anybody.
No, I hear you. But them grandkids, they're going to keep you awful busy if you got 7 of them, if they're close by.
Oh, well, yeah, we've got some of them right here in Madison, some down Sioux Falls, and then the farthest ones are out in Oregon, but they're talking about moving back. Yeah, I've got them ranged from 20 to 2 years old. So,
Yeah, then you are busy.
yeah.
There's no off season for you. It just changes what you're doing.
Well, yeah, got between hockey and softball and baseball, and now one of them's starting football. And, oh, yeah, I could be busy every night.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great, though.
Being you're busy, then we won't keep you too long. We'll just hit you up with these quick questions here at the end, and then we'll let you go.
Okay.
All right. So what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Strawberry from B&G.
There you go. Can't go wrong with that.
No.
Cat or a dog person?
Dog.
Do you have any hobbies?
Like golfing and hunting.
Perfect.
Super.
How about a favorite movie?
Days of Thunder.
Do you prefer snow or would you prefer rain?
Rain. I'm done with that snow. It's south in the wintertime.
There you go. That's awesome.
If you're going to be stranded on an island, what type of music would you want to have along to listen to?
Like country. Listen to a lot of Pandora, that 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yep.
KXRB.
That's the
best.
Yeah.
This is the one Tobe and I listen to the most. Do you have a favorite place to go out to eat?
Yeah, we like Lori's.
Is that in Madison?
No, that's in Sioux Falls.
And you said Lori's?
Lori's, yes.
Maury's.
It's the old Foley's restaurant out on the west side of town there.
Okay, what do we get there?
Oh, I like my steaks.
Okay, so it's a steak place. Okay.
There we go.
Nothing
So
wrong with
something
that.
to try, Tobe.
Something we got to do this winter, bud.
Yeah.
Let's see, where are we? Okay, how about a favorite holiday?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's a different one. We don't get that one very often.
We got engaged on Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. That's awesome. I'm kind of interested. You're 65, so I'm kind of anxious to hear this one. What app on your phone do you use the most?
Oh boy.
You can just
And you can
pass,
pass if you don't use any.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know on that one.
Okay.
How many speeding tickets have you had in your lifetime, Ron?
I'd say less than 10.
Oh, that's not
pretty
bad
good.
at all.
That's pretty good.
See, we always ask that.
When you come home one night and tell your dad that you got caught speeding for going 100 miles an hour, he kind of takes that out of you.
That didn't end well, you're
You know
saying.
what I mean, back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's our next question. What's the fastest you've ever gone? Not necessarily got caught. You said 100, but have you gone faster than that?
Yes. I've done that NASCAR driving experience, so I think it was 148, something like that now.
There you go.
That's good enough. What's your favorite drink or what's your go-to beverage?
Well, it's either Ultra or I do like a Pendleton water every once in a while.
Okay.
There you go. All right, our last one. If money was no object, has there always been a car or pickup or anything like that that you've really wanted to own?
You know, I've always wanted to have a Corvette, but one thing you learn when you get older, it's harder to get down. It's not so bad getting down into the car.
Yeah. It's a bugger to get out.
I have a buddy there to help you get out.
That's right. Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've owned my last car. I'm into SUVs and pickups now.
Well, absolutely. That's what I've kind of grown up on is a pickup. So, yeah, cars just don't do it for me.
Yep, you bet. Well, Ron, thanks so much for being on. I'm so happy for you to get that big win. And best of luck the rest of the year.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, you take care.
Thank you.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that's all there. Oh, he took off. I'm getting 8,000 text messages, but none of them were from that guy. All right.
Better mark that one before you call the next one.
Yep.
Yeah, that couldn't have worked out any better on a freaking deal.
No. All right. I'll call Justin.
Yeah, we could end up at his feature at that point too.
Yeah, I don't know how long he'll.
We've had him on before, so
Yeah, we don't have to do the.
we don't have to do much other than just talk about the race.
This is Justin.
Hey, Justin, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Yeah.
You're an old veteran at this, so shouldn't be no big deal for you.
No big deal at all. We're just finished up grocery shopping, actually. How you guys doing?
Doing good. So, are we gonna be able to talk right now, or are you gonna?
I should be good. I can talk to you and finish this up at the same time. Otherwise, I can call you back in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes if you want, whatever you want.
Whatever works for you is
No,
gonna work for us. We're just sitting here, so.
Yeah, we'll be completely checked out and on the way home in 5 minutes if you want it to be a little more clearer and no register in the background.
That's fine by
That's
us.
fine.
So
We'll give you. You gotta find the right button.
there you go. All right, we're back at the garage. We got Justin Henderson with us tonight. How you doing, Justin?
Doing good. Just finished up some grocery shopping and heading on home.
So now, if I got to ask this, because if I was grocery shopping, I got to eat before I go. So did you have supper before you went, or otherwise I buy way too much stuff I don't need?
Oh yeah, we ate first.
Okay.
The same way.
Okay.
And are you in charge of grocery shopping most of the times, or how's that all go?
You know, in the summertime, it's sporadic. Usually my wife or I swing into the grocery store and grab enough stuff to have meals here and there, because we're always super busy in the summer. But in the wintertime, we do the full-fledged, everybody jump in the car and go to Hy-Vee and spend $400 or $500. Get a couple weeks worth type of deal. So it just depends on the time of the season.
Yeah. I have to mention, because we have the races on in the background so we can see it. We're doing a new thing where we're just trying to do YouTube, but unfortunately I'm not smart enough to figure out how to get you on there and do whatever. So we just have the races on in the background of us, and if we get in trouble, we get in trouble. But yeah, we just saw Sam Henderson's car. How bad was his car Sunday?
It was actually a lot worse than it looked. Unfortunately, it pretty much killed the steering sector, which that's really weird. That doesn't happen very often, but it just must have been the timing of how he caught Ian there. I really couldn't believe Ian spun out right there, and I think Sammy really wasn't prepared for that, and just didn't have enough time to react. Just barely caught him with the left front there. So it did more damage than it looked like, unfortunately.
And you and Sam, is that just kind of you guys working that out together, or what's kind of the...
Our teams are completely separate.
Okay.
We're both going to have the number 83, of course, because that's what number our dad was.
Yep.
We just, kind of pick our own colors. He tries to keep his close to mine, or at least I've been the one picking the colors the last couple of years. So we'll see how that goes in the future. I don't know if he does that on purpose or if he just wants them to look similar because we're brothers or what. But
Well, you just do such a great job with the colors that he can't.
Yeah, that must be it. But his car looks really good for this year too. I like his. In some aspects, I like his a little bit more than mine. But
We won't. Don't tell him that though.
Yeah.
So let's get into Sunday. Tell us how the night went for you.
It went pretty good. We had quick time for the first time all year. We got this motor and car package hitting a little bit better right now than it has. So that's making me feel really good, because we were struggling for most of this year with our own team. And, I don't think we're the fastest car out there yet. Obviously, we still need some work, but we've got something to go around the racetrack.
So what are you using for chassis?
I'm using Triple X chassis, and I really don't think it's the car's fault, but as far as finding the combination. And then Cressman built the motor, and it's pretty darn good. I like that motor. And then for a while, I was kind of thinking the engine was the problem, and we couldn't really get it figured out and get the car figured out, and now things are kind of hitting together finally. So.
Yeah, that's always good when things come together, and then like you said in your post race, a little luck never hurt either.
Yeah, luck helps for sure. And there's been several times this year that we've had luck go the other way. So
yeah. Oh yeah. It comes back around usually, one way or another.
We had a few DNFs that were pretty stupid this year. With that one, I just barely caught the outside wall rolling past the gate, and it ripped the beadlock right off the wheel, and that went flat. And we broke a rudder, and we had 3 or 4 complete DNFs, so that really hurt our points effort. We ran a 360 one night just for the hell of it. So I knew that our points battle was shot a long time ago, and I really wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you run a 360 out there.
Yeah, we turned in 11-0 with John Cressman's 360. Oh, it must have been in July, early July maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
See, we're learning things again, bud. You
Yep,
guys are sneaking
absolutely.
shit in the track there on us. We don't know what's going on.
Well, we have an old Jake Peters car here in front, and rumor has it he even won a race or two back in the day with a 360 in there. So I don't know, but
yeah, that might be true. I can't remember for sure, but
Well-
yeah, the thing ripped. We finished 6th that night. We qualified like 10th quick and finished 6th in the feature, I think.
that's not bad with the 360.
No.
With today's
No.
motors.
No,
Well, and especially on a racetrack where 11-0 is 10th quick, so I mean it's a pretty fast racetrack. Usually on a night where you run 360, you're hoping that it's dried up. And
Yep.
we got there and I was like, oh, probably after this.
Yeah.
You just never know what you're going to get at any racetrack. And that night it was just rippy and fast. So.
Yeah, you get a good dry track. I mean, a 360 can run with the 410 just because you can't get it. You can't get the power to the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
So could you tell that Tim's tire was pretty much flat when you were behind him, or?
Yeah, I knew it was flat. I gave him room there just because I knew I was going to get him. I didn't want to dink around too long and get caught by somebody else, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to get close to him either and then have that thing go at the wrong time. So.
Yeah, or when it goes, he spins out and catches you up in the mess again. That'd be the other side of the luck we were talking about.
Yeah, I was ultra careful, keeping plenty of room there. And then when I did get a good run to the inside, he saw me coming and shut me off, and which I would too. And then I got another good run on him and went around the outside of him before it blew, and then it blew right after that. So.
Yeah, and when his blew, it blew. He did a heck of a job holding on to it after it blew.
And I can't believe I didn't take the wing out. That was insane.
The way that thing exploded, there were chunks everywhere.
Yeah, must have went right past the wing on the way by.
You bet. So, what's the plans for the rest of the year?
Don't really have a ton of racing going on. I've got 2 more nights at Huset, obviously. I've got Cedar Lake. Might possibly run the Spencer 360 show. And let's see. That might be about it. There's probably about four nights for me for sure. I could possibly go do some out-of-town stuff, but I'm not real certain on that yet.
Okay.
You bet. Are you, by chance, going to do 360 and 410 at Bull Haulers, or just 410?
I'd like to. I'm looking into it right now. I've been looking into a couple different options. If I do a 360, I don't know. I just got to figure out where the help's going to come from for sure. And I've had a couple good offers, and so I don't really want to just jump on the first one that comes around. And I've got different options in that category as well. So we'll have to figure something out that works best for everybody.
Sounds like Sunday, though. If you're going to do both of them, you might want to start drinking some water and stuff early in the day.
That stuff don't bother me. I really like it hot. That's my favorite time of the year when it's 100 and some degrees and humid.
Oh, you're a sick man.
Trust me, Tobe is the complete opposite of that. 70 is like
70
the perfect,
is a perfect day. Partly cloudy and a little breezy.
Yeah, me too, for sure, but I like it hot. I hate it when it gets cold. When it's cold and it's time to go to the racetrack, I'm like, we'll just stay at home.
Well, then see, I got the option. I just turn the heater on in the push truck if it's too cold. So.
Yeah. I can stand there all night on the cement and your back's aching by the end of the night. And just gets old.
Yeah.
So, what is it like running kind of your own family operation this year? How big of a change is that for you?
Well, we've had our family operation for the last 4 years with the 360, but to run that in the 410 class, it's definitely a lot different. And I mean, we didn't have that many rainouts at Huset. I think the first week got rained out, so we've held on pretty good this year. We've gone through some adversity. It's really not easy to, I don't have a budget. I simply don't have a budget. I spend the least amount of money humanly possible on our stuff, and we're lucky that we have a motor used from a guy like Jeff Davis. And like I say, it's ripping better than I thought it was. It's going to be a good motor for us. I wouldn't be able to do this without somebody giving us a motor, and hopefully another one. I mean, we could definitely use a couple more, just to tell you the truth, and a decent sized sponsor. But I mean, the family deal started in 2019 with that 360 effort, and like I say, we've been fortunate enough to have people give us motors and keep rocking with this deal, and it's done really well every year. This year's been very difficult for us. It's been tough setup wise, getting used to this new tire, getting used to this new motor. The car is pretty good. We're getting back to where we need to be on the car, but we were kind of fishing around for a while too, and put ourselves out to lunch. So just starting to narrow things down and get to the faster side of this car, and I think that'll make a big difference come next year. So
how big a deal is the tire? I mean, I still hear people saying, they're still struggling with that tire. Is it really that big of a difference? Is just fine-tuning the setup?
Yeah, it's a big difference. I mean, a lot of guys, like you said, a lot of guys are still working on trying to fine-tune that, at least fine-tune that. Some guys are still taking big swings at it, trying to figure it out. I don't even know. I feel like I'm on the right track, and I'm afraid to stray too far now from where I'm at, so I just really don't. my setup needs some work. I mean, I think everybody is in that same boat. I don't think anybody feels like, oh, yep, I got it, except for probably Kyle Larson and Brad Sweet, David Gravel. But
Some of course, gravel messed her up at Jackson a little bit. So
yeah.
But so Bud put it out there for questions, and Lloyd, Austin Lloyd wanted to know, is Max going to start racing sometime, or does Mom not like that idea?
Oh, no, Mom likes that idea. We've got a cart for him, and it's all ready to go here in my shop. Well, not completely ready to go. I took some stuff apart that I'm working on, but it's just, and it's my fault. Having time for racing was really difficult this year because I had two good guys that were working for me painting last year, and they basically quit in the spring, didn't come back to work. So I've been doing absolutely everything paint-wise while we've had a really busy summer painting. So, I mean, pretty much every single night I leave around 8 or 9 o'clock and get done painting around 2 or 3 in the morning and trying to get caught up with that stuff and start trying to stay caught up with that stuff, I should say. And we've got a busy fall coming up that way, I'm sure. I'd love to get into a race or two, but we'll have to just see how it works out.
So a flat cart then, or a winged one?
It's a winged cart.
Okay.
It's a Ricky box stock.
Yep.
Cool. You bet. Before we let you go, why don't you mention the sponsors that you do have, Justin?
Yeah, absolutely. We're very proud to have powersports.com on our car this will be the 3rd year in a row. It's been a very good marriage between us since it started. In Seal Pros asphalting and paving. They've been on our car since we started, since the very first year, so definitely happy to have them back. They're a huge part of it. So is Crestman Sanitation, Golf Addiction, Kyle Johnson Trucking, Squealers, City Vending, and Mintex. That guy bought our chassis for us this year, which was really handy because I killed the car in the beginning of the year. So we've got some really good guys on board, and we're very happy to have the sponsors we do. We want to have a better showing for them than we had this year, and we've been working really hard at trying to figure that stuff out, and I think they understand that nobody's perfect in the sport.
You bet.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? It's always that up and down roller coaster ride with any sport. It don't matter if it's racing or if it's basketball or football.
Yeah, and I mean to tell you, like, the only thing that's for sure in this sport is that nothing's for sure. So as soon as you feel like you got it and it's a lock, that's the day you're going to be disappointed.
So before we let you go, since football season's right around the corner, do you have a favorite NFL football team?
I do. It's been the Packers pretty much my whole life, but I don't watch a whole lot of football. So the Packers have had an interesting year since they finally got rid of Rodgers. So I don't think that's a bad thing. It'll be interesting to see what we get in return.
Yeah, well, hopefully my Vikings, who always has another year, there's always next year, but hopefully they can get the Packers this year.
Yeah, be nice to try to lose a 5th Super Bowl if you can help it.
Yeah, no kidding. So the one thing I do,
rubbing salt in the wound right there.
I refuse to do fantasy football because I hate it because I have to cheer for the guys that are going against the Vikings. You can't just get all Vikings on there.
Well,
you never win here. So and then you're cheering against them. I'm like, I'm done with fantasy football. So, but I don't know.
That's a whole nother subject for another day.
I just end up donating my money to fantasy, so I quit doing that too.
Yeah. All right. Well, Justin, best of luck at the Bull Haulers Brawl this weekend. I assume Saturday the family would probably be able to be there, so I think you get a win this time.
Sunday,
get
too,
Max up on the roof.
There's no school.
There's no school on Monday, so
pay attention, bud. You're a teacher. You're supposed to know this stuff.
I'm going to be in Fort Collins, so I don't have a choice. So, but best of luck this year, the rest of the year.
Thanks, boys. I appreciate that, and we'll give it our best this weekend.
All right. See you later.
Yep. See you.
See, I got mine.
I'll let you start, Tobe.
All right, we're back at the garage again. We got Lee Goes with us after his big win. So how you been doing today?
Good. I'm actually a little tired yet. I didn't get much sleep that night.
Oh, I'm shocked. I didn't either, but I got more than you did.
Right? Yeah, I stayed up kind of late, I guess, and then I was kind of amped up, so I didn't sleep very good.
So you've been there to see the sun come up before after races. Did you see the sun or not?
Well, no, I was in bed. I just wasn't. I couldn't fall asleep very well.
Oh.
Well, I was gonna say when I left, there was you and then the gentleman from Texas that were up here. So I backed down the pit lane. You were pushing your car in the trailer, so I just had to tell them that they were the only ones with their car still out of the trailer yet. So you weren't the last one to leave.
I know. We're normally the last one to leave, though. Even at I-90, it feels that way every night. We just end up hanging out. I mean, we enjoy hanging out with friends as much as racing almost, I think. So.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it, right? They kind of become your family in a sense. I mean, outside family. So, but
It is, yeah.
you bet. Well, let's get into Sunday. What tell us, start with qualifying, how that went for you, and take us through the heat race and the feature.
Yeah, I started out with, everybody I ran into all night, all they kept mentioning was the points. So, and then Austin Lloyd comes over too, and he asked me, and I said, no, I just got to think of it as another race. I'm not worried about it. That's the way I wanted it to be, but it was hard not to think about it. So, yeah, everything was nerve-wracking all night, especially the qualifying. You knew you had to put up a good time because it was like the 410 situation with points. So,
Yeah.
no, it actually turned out really good. It drew a high number, which actually worked better because the track was so heavy. And I got lucky because that way there was only 2 cars on the track with me and Jacob Peterson as opposed to 4, so I didn't have to worry about catching anybody and screwed up my time. So yeah, it turned out second, so that turned out great points. And then heat race was really tough for everybody. It was so heavy and just so bottom dominant that we got one car, which put us second in points.
And then did they redraw for you? Did you pull it out of the hat?
No, yeah, they called the top 8 points. So points combination between your time trials and heat race to 10. So we didn't get to do it in front of the crowd like the 410s, but we did physically get to pull our own fill. So I was second to draw and I drew the 2, which was kind of fitting because I was already second points, and I was really happy with that until I found out who was on the pole. And geez, he's probably got the quickest car, that Jacob Peterson, and he's really good on a heavy track.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be awful tough to ever beat him to the first corner. We tried, but he managed to take the lead right off the start.
Yeah.
And had it for most of the feature the way it looked.
He did, yeah. I think he probably figured out I was struggling on the restarts, so he would get away from me every time we had a restart. So
Yeah.
I'd have to catch him, and I was really praying for lap traffic, which the first time we got to it, and then we got it was either yellow or red. I just remember we were getting lap traffic, and I was getting kind of excited in the car, and that was the end of that. So I was just praying for another long green flag run, which we did get towards the end. That's what it helped. I think the dirty air is still a newer concept that he's trying to figure out.
Sure.
So when he got behind the lap cars too close to him, he couldn't stick the bottom as well.
Yeah.
So it worked in my favor big time.
But that was probably the most patient, and I heard a couple guys say that to you, but probably the most patient I've ever seen you on probably one of the bigger races you've driven.
Yeah, because I've done some, I don't know if you say dumb, but just getting impatient, in the past where you try stuff because you can go faster, but every time I look on the board, Vanderheid's right behind me yet, as far as the lineup. I knew if I screwed up, he's quick, so if I tried to go high and I couldn't make the pass, I knew he was going to slip right under me. And I didn't know how that would work, so I knew at the time that we were tied as long as I stayed ahead of him.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that I figured he had some better finishes, but then instead of tying, I would have been second place in the way because he had one more third place than me.
Yeah, that's good.
I know the goal was to win, and I told myself all night, all I want to do is win a race in Houston before the season was over. So that was my big goal anyways for the night, more so than the point.
Well,
his only reason he wanted to win was so he got to talk to us still.
I figured as much, yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no,
Yeah, let's go with that story, bud. That'll work for me.
right?
So real quick, I have to say, my wife tonight, she goes, so Lee won, so that means you have to interview Lee, right? And I said, yep, we're interviewing him at 8. She goes, so are you going to be done by 1 a.m.?
So you guys stayed at the track for a while then. Yeah, that's the nice thing. I get to talk to you guys every Sunday for quite a while anyways.
Yeah, we
absolutely.
keep this short so I can go home and go to bed to try to catch up yet from Sunday night.
Yeah, it was great that pretty much all you guys were there. That was amazing. And then as soon as I turned around, after me and Dylan were doing our fence climb, you guys were all on the front straightaway already, so that was great.
Yeah, we I yelled at Clark, and I'm like, Clark, is there any way we can go down there? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So So that was nice of him to let us come down on the track so that we could be a little part of that. But the the fence climb, that you guys were way the heck up there.
Yeah, I didn't think it felt bad. I looked over and Dylan quit, so I figured that was as high as we were supposed to go. So that was actually his thing. I didn't know. I told Jamie, his mom, at the beginning of the night, I said, well, if I can win this, I said, that means I get the championship. I said, you think I should climb the fence? I said, that's something Dylan always wanted to do. And then as soon as I got out of the car, he mentioned it to me. He said, you want to climb the fence? I said, I'll do it if you do it. So away we went. But that was kind of special because that's something he wanted to save until he won his first race at Houston. He was so pumped up that, he said it to me, and that's why I figured, well, it's okay. I don't want to take that away from him. So that was pretty cool.
Me and Bud, we weren't going to join you because we ain't going to get up the wall. So
the fence would have came down.
It was the wall is taller than I thought it was. I figured no big deal. I got up there, and that wall's got to be a good 4 feet high or better.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that the fence is actually flush with the wall. When you're driving the car, it doesn't feel that tall, I guess. But no, it was cool. And then it was cool just to hear the fans cheer. And it was a little harder climbing with my helmet on. I don't get a very good peripheral vision, so I can't see up and down very well.
All the struggles of being a race car driver. Can't see to climb the fence.
Yeah, you had enough adrenaline at that time. It didn't matter. I figured one way or another I was going up. Coming down was easy.
Yeah, coming down ain't hard till the landing if you screw it up. So
you bet. So I don't know what last 7 races, 6 races. You've had what 1 second, and the rest have all been wins, or what's the numbers there?
Yeah, it's been actually crazy. So the last 3 weeks in a row, we've had 7 races, and we had 6 wins in a second.
Yeah.
The second, we were sure trying to win that one, but we just come up short.
You'd almost have to call that a pretty good streak.
That's amazing. I would have never guessed that in a million years that we could do that. Because we've been figuring stuff out, figuring out what works better. I mean, every time you win, your confidence gets a little higher. So it just seems like it's the next race. I mean, it seems weird, but it almost gets easier. You don't doubt yourself as much. You just have in your head that you can do it. So it definitely helped going into championship night at Huset.
Oh yeah. It definitely had momentum on your side.
Yeah, and then Dylan drove through the night to be back here, so that helped too. Having him there, he has ideas and really puts it in my head, as far as being patient, what to do.
Yeah.
We don't want to, maybe Dylan won't listen to this podcast. We don't want to brag him up too much for anything.
Yeah, he needs to be amped up a little bit. He's going to try. I'm sure he's a little nervous. He's going to Race Saver Nationals to give that a shot this year.
Yeah, he was telling me about that. That gentleman called him, wanted to know if he wanted to drive his car. So he said, I haven't run that many races yet. Now I'm going to nationals.
Yeah, I should say 4 nights. Yeah, but he run one night at I-90, and then he run just at Jackson, and then I-90 again. So he's 2 different weekends is all he's ever run all year.
Yeah. So what's your plan, Lee? Are you going down or not?
Well, I think between you guys and my family and a few other people, it sounds like I think we're going. So I got signed up. Everybody kept bugging me. They're like, if you sign up by, when was it? I think it was last Friday or something. It's only $20. Otherwise it's $100. So we got signed up, and then I didn't know nothing about pit stalls. They texted me on Saturday before we went racing that a couple pit stalls came available. Which one do I want? And I looked at the list, and one of them that came available was right next to where Dylan's at. So we ended up getting lucky, and we're going to be pitted side by side.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can't get any better than that.
No, not at all. So, that way we can help each other. I'm sure it'll ease some attention for him also.
Now, have you ever gone down to this before or no?
I've never actually even seen Eagle before.
Okay, so you're both going to be rookies down there then.
Yeah, he's been there and watched the race, but I've never even been there. It's kind of how we've been doing everything. Last year we did that too, in the fall. We went and raced some race acts I've never even seen. So, you get there, you kind of look at it, and hot laps are interesting sometimes because you learn a lot real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'd seen earlier Dylan had a post out there, and it's on IMCA TV or something. So we may have to try and figure out how to get that purchased for the weekend.
I should have had you guys ask Drewke how to set the car up because he's been killing it over there.
Yeah. Well, we have all that. He told us, Lee. We know
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, he explained it to us. Me and Bud understood everything.
I don't think you want to use any of it because I don't think he was telling us the truth. But
Yeah, I think he's probably the guy to beat over there.
yeah, he gave you a big compliment though. He said that. Well, how do you say it, Tom?
Probably
He
one of
said-
the fastest cars in the country right now. I think
Yeah.
is how he said it.
Yeah. So.
Really? Wow, that's surprising. Yeah, because I told Dylan, I said, he's the guy I look at and said, I got to beat. So
Yeah.
he's the one I'm looking at to try to see if I can keep up with his lap time.
Yeah, and he does say it's his home track, so
Yeah.
he does
He
feel like he
said
has a
there-
little bit of
yeah.
an advantage. So, but
Oh, definitely. Yeah, every week I look. They're not on my race pass, but you always, you look just to see the results. And he's generally always the winner.
yeah,
Yeah.
And he's even the hard charger and the winner. So that means it's not handed to him. He's definitely earning it.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
So-
absolutely. What is the plan though for kind of the rest of the year? I know you have a couple more at Hartford, and then I thought Jamie was saying you might keep racing for a while.
Yeah, it seems like at the end of the year we get on a better roll. So then you don't want to quit. So you want to keep going as long as you can, and the weather's been so dang nice. But we'll try to go, up till October if we can, or whatever we can find that's within a reasonable distance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll go to this weekend. We'll head off to the Race Saver Nationals, and then the week after there's one race at I-90 would be the final race in our area. But otherwise, we're debating Shelby County's having a race with just 305s and 410s in Harlan, Iowa. And so we might go to that instead. It's a 2-day show, the 8th and 9th, as opposed to going to I-90, because we actually wrapped that championship up just by showing up last week, so we don't have to show up. Didn't get that one, but just kind of depends on how things fall and what happens when we get back from Race Saver Nationals.
Yeah.
It's kind of been tough. I haven't been able to work much. It seems like we're bleeding more for racing.
Talk nice to Dad. Keep him busy at the shop there for you.
Right? Yeah, lucky part is this time of year it gets slower for us, so.
Yeah.
But you do want to get stuff done before the snow starts flying.
People are thinking about getting rid of their campers, not buying them at this time of year.
Yeah, when kids go back to school, just like everything,
Yep.
stuff changes quite a bit. The mindsets change.
Yep. Labor Day rolls around, and that's always the last camping weekend. They always say.
Yeah. If you guys see any good races, somewhat close, like I said, let us know. We always got friends just sending us texts and stuff if they find something.
Yeah. So this year you had one, you actually had my brother Joe help you in the pits one night, and somehow you won that night. So that's like
Yeah,
double
that was really cool.
double the credit to you when you have my brother. I got a picture of him actually working on the car. Actually, I'm just giving you crap. Joe's pretty dang good at doing stuff that he's told to do, and he fiddles with motorcycles and stuff like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, but it's way more fun to pick on than give him credit.
Yeah, I know. But but then you also had Colby helping you one night, and then you kind of paid him back at Huset's, and you were in his pit. So how's that all work?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Well, we just, when Joel showed up too, we had one of our guys there, and he asked if he could be there. I was like, yeah, more than willing. Anytime you guys want to come down, it'd be great. And it happened to be one we were pitting in the infield, so he got a better view of watching the race all night too that way. But that turned out to be a lot of fun, and we never had much luck in Rock Rapids until last year. We finally won one, and now it's, I don't know, we really enjoy it. The track actually's been a lot better. It's been a lot racier.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we went there with me and Jamie, and Jamie doesn't even like pushing the car with the four-wheeler. So Goldie said, I'll come over. So him and Joe showed up. His buddy Joe DeBoer, showed up, and his wife Brooke, and they all helped. So we got pictures of Colby, and he credits our win to his setup.
Yep.
yeah. He
And
would.
too bad I couldn't do the same for him, though. It didn't work out when we went to Houston. I couldn't do the same for him as he did for me, I guess.
Yeah, he thought there was some damage to the car, and he pulled in, and Austin Lloyd says he's got Lee helping him. Lee's under there looking what's going on, and I'm like, there's way too many moving parts under there for Lee.
I looked under there, and I told Joe, I said, I'm looking, but I don't know what I'm looking for. But I said, I'll try to see if I can see anything broke. Yeah.
See if there's a broke part or something bent into you.
I don't know where stuff's supposed to be or what could be. So you just look for anything that might be obvious, but yeah, it's a lot different. I don't have all the body panels covering up my parts.
No, everything's out in the open.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but it wasn't good fun. I ended up helping my boy that night too, because he's helping Ryan Timms, and Ryan Timms got his little, crash twice.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a horrible
I
night.
felt like I knew somewhat what I was doing, but I also tried to stay out of the way because I didn't know how they wanted things done. So.
Yep.
yeah. And how's that going for Dylan? Does he? I mean, is he like working with Ryan? I know Ryan sometimes goes midget, so Dylan doesn't have to work those nights. But I'm sure that keeps Dylan busy traveling all over the place and everything else.
It does, yeah. For a month, it was just in the toter home. That was different for him. He said living out of a toter home as opposed to sleeping in a regular bed. I think the thing he likes the most is a regular shower. Not having to take like a military shower to conserve water.
Yep.
So I know when he came home, he was just happy to be able to jump in the shower. He probably stood there for 20 minutes, I'll bet.
Yeah, 20-minute shower.
Yeah, just let the water run, just enjoyed it for a change. But yeah, he does enjoy it. He's learning a lot. And the thing is, it's kind of a different team because with Ryan, like you said, he jumps around to the midgets and the USAC stuff and different things all the time. So he doesn't really know what the schedule is. They don't really know until last minute.
Yeah,
so
sure.
The only reason you got to race this Race Saver National is because Ryan went off racing.
Yeah.
Yep. Which worked out good for Dylan, so.
Not sure if he's going to be back Tuesday or if he gets another week here at home. So he's trying to find that out yet, too. He won't probably know until halfway through the weekend.
So, have we ever asked you why you have the number you have?
Oh, it was how old I was when I started.
There you go.
Yep, pretty simple. Yeah, I was 17. I was in high school, and it was a number nobody had at the time. So I thought I just wanted something nobody had, but I didn't want a letter behind my number. Geez, now it seems like there's quite a ton of teams.
Yeah, you bet. Well, before we let you go, you might as well mention your sponsors and go from there.
Oh yeah, and then think the people that helped me on top of that also. I got Sickle Branson's been helping me. He's been doing an awesome job. Him and Evan Mallett, we went to Belleville and a few places, and they actually drove down separate to come help me. For the 2 days that they could and went back home, Evan went back home, we went to Oski and things like that. So they've been great, making sure they get the track whenever they can, taking off work and kind of moving their schedules for us. And then Dylan, before he left, obviously, and then last weekend, Jamie Waxville, that's the gal I've been with for 19 years now. She's always making sure everything's set up, ready to go for us. And obviously, Hoagie's Garage, you guys have been awesome. And just keep it fun, too. GT Electric, which is Great Plains Electric, Ryan Hofer and his wife, Amber, they were also able to be there at Houston Sunday night, which was great. And then we got David Company Realty, Creekside Meats, Complete Living Solutions, my family business, Ghost RV, with my folks. And that's just basically, I just put that on the car, but my folks have always been, I can say, standing behind me, but nervous. So they were so nervous, my mom had to quit watching halfway through that race. She said she quit watching until she heard I was leaving, then she started watching it again.
Oh, that's
that was
awesome.
kind of interesting. I think they were a lot more nervous than I was.
Yeah.
There's quite a few people. I know the wife was doing quite a little cheering on the back of the push truck too, so.
Yeah, we were jumping up and down when you won, that's for sure. I think Colby fell down when you took the lead, so he was.
Really?
Yeah, I think he tripped over something, jumping up and down for you. So, yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Said he's seen up there and he can see all the gray Hoagie hoodies. He said they were all jumping up and down.
Yeah.
They were all moving.
Yep. Yeah, the best part for us, Dean was back. So after having his prostate out and stuff, and being somewhat cancer-free from what we hear, and it's just great. That's kind of his first night back out doing anything. So it was great to be there so he could watch you win and get the championship. So thanks for doing that for him, Lee.
Yeah, no, I was just glad to see him. You guys said you weren't sure if he was going to make it or not.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And it was an early night for him too, so that was nice.
Gosh, yeah, it was just 10 o'clock or shortly thereafter when the races actually got over.
Yeah, everything actually went really smooth. I couldn't ask for it to, it played into my hand perfect.
Didn't maybe go home till midnight or later, but hey.
All right. Well, Lee, we wish you the best. Go down to Eagle and, just rip it and see what happens.
Yeah, I'll try to keep you guys updated on how it's going, but we'll see what happens and just try to enjoy ourselves, I guess.
There you go. That's the main thing. Make sure and have fun while you're there yet. Take it all in.
Yeah, that's just it. Yeah, that's what we've been trying to do with it every night. As long as, like I said, we're having fun, I can't complain.
Nope.
Oh, must have
We
lost
might have
him.
lost him.
Oh, no, I'm still here.
Okay.
Oh, he's back.
Sounds good. All right.
All right. Well, good luck down there, and then whatever you do for the rest of the year. But we'll keep in touch, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I'll keep you guys updated. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thanks again. And welcome back to the show. Ron Howe. You see him right there on the screen. Getting his first win. That was quite something. That's pretty awesome at Huset Speedway. I didn't know when Austin said since 1976 how much on and off racing he did. If you listen to the whole podcast there, he's kind of been on and off quite a bit and just hitting it hard really again the last few years. But 65 and gets his first win at Huset Speedway. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So you see Lee going into the winner's circle. That was pretty awesome. Probably see him going up on the fence here shortly. And then Justin Henderson, getting his first win this year at Huset. That was pretty awesome. So congratulations to all three of those. Congrats to Lee on winning the points championship. It was a tough battle all season long, and just really wish those guys the absolute best as they go down to Eagle Speedway and do the Nationals this weekend.